Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Once again, it is that time. New schedule, new stream. Isn't it always like that? All right, so it's Monday night. Got a new thumbnail, I guess. Should be should be an interesting stream. Let's see. Where is my cup of coffee? Cup. Oh, make sure you have your cup of coffee ready. Because tonight, let me turn off the light for the mood. Set the mood so we can get into streamer mode, lore discussion mode, right? Because that's why we're here. We're here for that. All right. Let's see. That away. So, let's see. Any announcements? No big announcements. No special guests yet or anything. I've been busy with work, but I want to thank everybody in the Discord, all the great fellas over there, the great content creators and inquisitors and artists, everybody there. Thank you, everybody. Welcome back, yo pharaohs. Yeah, just it's a great community over there, always discussing Elden Ring and sometimes other things, which is great. It's a nice change of pace. If you do decide to join the Discord, anybody in the future, if you're a cool person, you know, don't be afraid to. Well, even if you don't think you're cool, don't be afraid to jump into the voice chat over there. There's always live. Not always, but most of the time, it's lots of live lore discussions and lore theories or hypotheses going down over there, which is great. Because that's why we play this game, right? To hypothesize and figure out the truth. What's up, most stray? No, I just started, man. And talking about that, I put up in YouTube to see how to adjust the stream, right? If to extend it, to keep it the same, or change the starting time. And most of the people, a majority, just wanted it to keep the same but flexible at the 9 o'clock cutoff. Okay. Well, the voice chats they're named Princess Ronnie, Ministry of Truth, General Radon, stuff like that. They are character names. And so, but most of the time, it's called it's in the channel called Lindell Royal Capital. They have the little voice symbol or a little speaker symbol next to them. And like I said, they're called General Radon, Praetor Rykard, Princess Luna Rani, and Ministry of Truth. Man, I don't know how to speak Spanish, bro. I'll let the Spanish speakers of the Inquisition do it. Me, Mostreote. Dude, I'm not even trying. I'll destroy it. I'm what's known as a no sabo kid. No sabo. I mean, it is what it is, right? Let me get a drink coffee here. Ooh, coffee's good. So I'm just gonna call you most. Yeah. Most pharaohs. Anyways, so in the discussions today in the Discord voice channels, right? They, Not Godwin is there, and he was speaking with Sirius Moonlight, Sunset Jackal, and Boss. And I most of the time when I'm in those discords, I'm listening because I want to hear what people got to say, what they think. It's very interesting. And not Godwin, Elden. Oh, what? Let's see. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Elden John and the original Newmans build the towers. Whoa, you know what? And that is interesting. And we're gonna be talking about towers. Um, they may have, I'm not sure if I agree with that 100%, but I would lean towards like a high probability. A high probability. So this morning, Jack is a Mimic. The great Jack is a Mimic came out with his Monday morning Mimic commentary, which is ending soon. Not the commentary, just the Monday mornings. And in that video, I don't know if anybody saw it. It's a great video, and I suggest everybody sees it. But there was a section in there where he talked about the divine towers, and which is interesting because in the voice chats today in the Inquisition, the idea of the divine towers came up too. So it's like everybody's on this wavelength today, which is great. So the hypothesis or the idea that not Godwin had stated, and was that the rocks here around, I believe, around this Shadow Keep appear to be two different types of stone, right? So we're gonna look at this, and I don't want to go too deep on what he's doing because he may be making a video, and I don't want to step on his toes. He's a good friend, but we're gonna look at it here on stream and see what I can see, what the chat, everybody that's viewing in the later can see what is here, and either agree or respectfully disagree on what we see. So let me go make this daytime so it'll be much easier. Where is this? There it is. We're gonna make it noon. The numbers are the original. Oh, the Newmans are the original inhabitants. They are the Titans that build the world and the towers. You think the Newmans are the Titans? That's interesting. Mostrote. What gives you where do you get the idea that they are the Titans? The towers are a way for he also continues, the towers are a way for the outer gods to give their power and influence to the world. Okay. Each tower was meant to be for an outer god. I tend to lean that way a little bit. I don't see anything wrong with thinking that. That's for sure. I would say that. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we have here. All right. Now, I told Not Godwin that I would come here looking blind because I didn't want to look beforehand. And I'm not sure where he was looking at. Most says there's no information for the Titans, only the Newmans, and why would they put the Titans without any information? I would tend to think the reason they didn't put any information on the Titans was because it was so old. It was prehistoric. You know what I'm saying? It's older than the dragon civilization, so everything of them is basically gone. Like when like in somewhere in Central Asia and the Middle East, they the sands of the deserts blow away, and they find coins for a civilization they don't know here in reality, right? And or they find writing of civilizations that we don't know, kind of like in Turkey, how they have the what is that site in Turkey? Welcome back, Cholesterol. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're alive. Uh, the information, you know, I think that's what it's meant to represent. It's so old that pretty much all information except for their bodies is gone, and perhaps one weapon. There's one weapon that seems to be linked to them, and it's that meteoric sword. I don't think I have it on me, but it's a sword for us, but it was an arrowhead for them. Uh, Most comes back. The purpose of the towers was to serve as the Elden Ring. Each outer god is a each outer god controls an aspect of the inner universe, and each outer god has their own king and queen. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, that is a fascinating idea, but I just don't understand. What I'm not understanding is what is giving you where is this not information, where is the inspiration from this coming from? That's what I want to know. That's what's interesting to me too. There was a concern. I wasn't. Well, oh, cholesterol. Yeah. I texted you earlier, but I didn't get a response. So that's pretty much. But I'm glad you're alive. uh, Havoc says, "Do you think the Titans were bodies? Oh wait, do you think the Titans were bodies were always visible in Kaled, or only after millennia fought after millennia fought Radon and bloomed?" That's a good question. Um, that is a really good question. You know what? Um, I would say that I would tend to think that they've always, well, since we see them like a lot of them, we know that erosion has been taking place. Now they may have, I would say they were exposed, but probably not to the point to where we have them, where we see them because of time, and so through erosion they've become more exposed, I would say. Oh, you were in a food coma. Oh, inspiration. I'm high. Oh, that's funny. The channel of power of the outer gods is an antenna to power each of their own kings and queens, like the Glowmite Queen. Interesting. Okay. Most interesting. Bodies were visible. Bodies. Oh yeah, no, I understood. Having Most says Havoc. Oh, he's talking to Havoc. Your Pharaoh says crazy, like nobody cares, like no NPC says anything about it, right? So they must have been exposed already, right? They're already desensitized to the idea of these giant creatures. And that could be completely wrong. They could have been killed by Marika and Godfrey. You know what I'm saying? These giants, because we find them at the foot of the forge in holding up the mountain over there. So honestly, it could be anything really. But in my mind, I would say they were already dead and they were less exposed, and over time they became more exposed. Welcome back, Durit. Um, Most says maybe the Titans were meant to build the world and their dead bodies with their dead bodies. You know what? I have thought about that too. I thought that they were exactly meant to do that. Okay. Real quick. All right. Dirt says, Goblet Tepe. Goblet Tepe in Turkey is the name of the site that you were talking about. Exactly. There you go. And it pushes back human history like an extra like 5,000 years older than or intelligent human history. another 5,000 years or 12,000 years or something like that, which is fascinating. All right, let's see. I'm not seeing a difference in the rock here. Oh, unless Godwin was talking about this portion here where the rock seems to be overlapping the stone, overlapping the brickwork. So I believe he was trying to connect this to Scummy Info or TA, lava theory that the world was once covered in a lava flood. Which it is interesting. But as for everything else, I don't see. This is like the only thing I would question here. Like, if it's liquid magma and it splashes up or rising up there. I mean, it looks it looks something like that, right? You could definitely see that. But I would, with the way that it appears with the 90 or the 45 degree or 35 degree angle there, I wonder if they just if that's just a rendering thing by FromSoft that, you know, they didn't bother to correct. You know, they just left it there. It you know, colliding like that. Otherwise I would if now if we don't look at it at a developer's type of way, it does look like it could be a lava flood. But then again, we know from a stream like 2 months ago, back in December, I think, that perhaps what it's built on is not lava itself, but perhaps a great tree, petrified, I would say. And Cirrus Moonlight had made a comment, which I found fascinating too, that it was maybe it looked like the same rock as the Divine Towers, and we know that the Divine Towers are made or grown with trees, as we see in Night Rain. So perhaps there was a Divine Tower here, an 8-side one, 2 8 sides right here. Maybe perhaps this was all a tree. Let's see. We'll think about it. Havoc says, I don't think we saw any bodies underground besides the... Oops. Sorry about that. Where was I? I don't think we saw any bodies underground besides the giant Nox grandma, but I could be wrong. Right. Yeah, you're right. There's no other giant bodies underground. Hey, Rattle, welcome. Moise says, America's lore sounds like she stole everything, the power of the outer gods to conspire with the greater will to push away every other god, and everything that was built to use in the system of godhood because was built to use in the system of godhood became useless. And I would say, you know, that seems to be the story that they try to tell you, but it may be a little bit deeper than that. Redo says, I always thought they look more pushed up with or out of the ground as opposed to dried magma splashing onto them. Just my opinion though. Well, I mean, right, it looks like they're converging, right? It's flowing at an angle downward. So Hmm. Which is interesting because if it's magma, magma would have melt those bricks. It would have made this entire foundation weak. So honestly, I would say I would tend to say that the whatever structure was here before, whatever if this was something, they built the they built the structure on top of the rock. I think. Pharaoh says, I feel like there's something to do with time travel, like it appeared inside a mountain or something. Oh, you know what? You know what? That's entirely possible. Let's see if we can get a better vantage point from across the chasm here. Oh, that's not where I want to be. We'll look at it from across. Let's see. And you know what? Kind of like your fair is kind of like Castlevania. How Dracula Castle just appears out of the night on top of a mountain or a cliff. Mo says it looks like lava that splashed up and covers the tower when the meteorite strike. I'm and it does look like that, but if it's like a splash, I would say you would expect to see more more splashy, you know? I don't more particles, smaller bits that, you know, like when you splash water, there's small droplets, right, everywhere. Now, if we could find something that represents that, then, you know, that's a really good case. Oh, son of a bitch. That would be a really good case to signify some liquid magma, right? Because anybody's ever seen magma, right? It when it rushes or whatever, when it's flowing really good inside the lava rivers, it splashes around. All right, let's. Oh, now it's raining. Good grief. All right, noon. Your Pharaoh says I feel. Oh, time travel. It looks like man. Okay. Rattle says I also wondered if that type of base is more to signify that they are older than structure are older than structures that don't have the rock foundation at their base. That do you mean that they're using the rock as their foundation instead of making their own foundation? Uh Moy says, "Holy shit, the towers are spaceships." You know what? Most that that wouldn't be too far outside the realm of possibilities. That wouldn't be too far. Sorry, I meant to. The buildings were pushed up out of the ground. Oh, kind of like shifting Earth, like we discussed. I mean, they could be. I don't know if there was a lava flood, right? Then why the verticality of the different types of rock? You know what I mean? Did somebody come out here and cut this rock out, cut it down there? Well, the water could cut may have may have gouged out the rock eventually. Hmm. Let's see. Why build a castle or temple down there too? This is. Hmm. I think if the lands. Oh shit. Oh, sound, damn. If this area isn't pieced together on top of each other, then it all has the verticality of everything has to do with the shifting earth. Then, like we see in Night Rain, and if it's the shifting earth, then like your Pharaoh says, it has to do with time travel or dimensional travel. because I believe that's how they explain how things are moving around in the shifting earth. Hold on, we're gonna look at it from this point right here. With all the let's see. Havoc says, with all the children America had, is there any mention of her having any siblings other than family members at all in the lore? No, there's no mention of siblings at all for her. Um, the only thing that we know for sure is that there's small things labeled as, the same stock as America, like the Newmans, the Knox, and stuff like that, are said to be the same stock. And with it being said to be, you can't really trust that as well. So you have to take that as, in my opinion, with a grain of salt. That could be just hearsay, propaganda, a lie to make her look bad. If there was, a political party or rival that was trying to make her look bad, or the Golden Order look bad and stuff like that, they would tend to tie her, like, you tie your political opponents to bad actors. But on the other hand, that does not mean it's not true too. So it's up to you. It's up to you, really. All right, here's a good view of it. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's see. Rattle says, furthermore, the shape of the divine towers look like telescopes, like when they were erected from the ground, the telescoped up, segmented by segment out of the ground, like an array of, or blah, like an array of antennae. Um, you know what? I like that idea, but I disagree with it, because the ziggurat style, I guess you could say, is a very ancient form of building towers very high. A wizard did it. Hello, y'all. Hi, Cayman. How you doing? Um, and we see ziggurats in real life all over the world. And if we're looking at an ancient civilization here, I would say that they probably had the same type of mathematicians to figure it out too, maybe at one point. But you could be entirely right too, and that's the beauty of other. Okay, anyways. All right, so we got some bad rendering there, but let's see. Could lava be present here? Could this be lava? What does dried lava look like? Let's look that up on YouTube. That's like the easiest thing to do. We'll just look it up on the YouTube. What does dried lava look like? Dried lava. All right, dried lava. Boom, boom, boom. Videos, images. All right, let me see. No, I don't think anybody can see. Well, if you look it up, I should have set this up earlier, but if you look it up, dried lava, everybody has a phone, right? Or a laptop. If you look up dried lava, it's very round. It's not angular or as or crumbly as we see here. It's very uniform in its structure, I would say, kind of like a blob. So I would say that this probably is not dried lava. And there is some crumbly lava that I found here, but it looks more like pebbles, like it completely crumbled. But yeah, it looks like a frozen waves, dark waves of lava. Yeah, no, I don't think this is lava. And now that I've looked at that, I would say that this right here that we're looking at is just granite or some stone. Lava is liquid, so it shouldn't be sharp, but it looks more like the structure erupted out of this, erupted from the stone. Right? I would say that I would lean more that way, that it probably erupted out of the stone. Um, just like who's that guy in Night Rain? Raider. He can make structures out of stone. So if he can make structures out of stone, a civilization who has that ability perhaps could do something like this. And they could probably, then those people, and if we want to be, if we want to be, get far out, we could probably say that Raider and his people probably learned that structure, that ability from the raw, from the raw ruins, the raw civilization. Because if we look there, pretty much almost the entirety of the lands between the upper area is the raw civilization and them making stones out of the earth, right? And if you don't want to use the timeline or time travel method on having to reconcile these differences, you could say that's how they do it, instead of having, a building come out of time and space to land on the rock, or, merge into an area, like Kitty Pryde in X-Men. That could also be a possibility. The barbarians are earth shakers, I suppose. Yeah, completely possible. Yeah. Stefan, I prefer the petrified tree idea, like a stump of great tree. Makes a good place to build a city or fort, as people always gather there. And I do like that idea too, that you've said that. Now that you've made it into that, I think that's a good idea as well. You know. Yes, the Kitty Pride version. Hey, not Godwin. Hey, Jackal. Welcome back. Rainbow Lion Nose. Rainbow Faramazula. Rainbow Lion Nose. Oh, Jackal, there is that part of that rainbow structure in Faramazula. I showed I think back in December or November. I can show you again if you like. It's kind of reminiscent to what Scum Mage, when he recolored Lindell in one of his videos. Not Godwin says the movie Drifting Home proves it. It's about floating apartment buildings that get traveled into another dimension through rain. Interesting. Oh, that's a good idea. I guess that would that's kind of like Night Rain. They float on the ocean. It's wild. Oh. I was watching. I don't know if anybody here had watched a Jack is a Mimic commentary. Also, he also alluded that he believes there's two more divine towers in the shadow of the Erd Tree. And I was talking to Sirius Moonlight, and he had predicted what what it might be. And I'm gonna let Sirius Moonlight say his piece on his channel, because he's an intelligent person. Make sure you see his stuff along with Jackal's and Not Godwin's stuff. They're also very intelligent. And but I would say if there was going to be a divine tower, and we know that divine towers also have this stuff that we see here, this was probably a divine tower, and that's probably it right there. Converted, because we see converted churches in the base game, and who's to say that they didn't convert divine towers back in the day? And I would say, and I think Sirius Moonlight, I'll give it this way. I agree with that. This is probably the other one. The suppressing tower is the other thing here, the other divine tower. But it is fascinating, and I can't wait till Jack is a mimic gets to the Shadowlands. I can't wait. It'll be awesome. Let's see. Soul. Welcome back, Soul. Soul Duff stuff. Soul. Sorry, you're killing me with your name. It does stuff. Stefan says, I imagine people flocked to Mikla before he had his tree, and he grew that from a stump, as there's a pattern of gathering at the stumps. You know what? I would say, yeah, you're probably right on that. There probably is. I think, was it you or was it Sirius Moonlight who sent me the like a close up of the icon for it, right? And I'm not sure how the stream looks, but if the icon shows like there's a tree stump and then a tree growing out of it here, which is fascinating, and that could be actually a little hint there. I like that idea, but I also like the idea that this is also a tree stump or a divine tower, because like I said, in Night Rain, the divine towers have the trees growing with it. So I wonder if the divine towers are grown in a magical sense. And I hate having magic being the answer. I'd like to think of this as a reality of some place, but there is magic, unfortunately, right? Having some type of, maybe Jack is going to say that is the other divine tower right there. Oh man. All right, here we go. All right. All right, let's see. All right, maybe Jagged Peak is a smothered divine tower. Jagged Peak. Oh, Jagged Peak over here. Oh, let's go look at this place again. There's always stuff to look at. Can you see? You can see it in the base of the tree, Melena's boss arena. Oh, is that what you're talking about? When? Oh, I don't have what? Why don't I don't have Bale beaten? Is my game not saving? What is? Okay, let's go see if Melina is here. Dead. Melina got a sabrat. Jackal says here, great minds think alike. No, that's not Jackal. That's Cayman. Jackal says, unfortunately, mage builds are a thing. Exactly. Thank you, Jackal. Right? Magic. I just don't like magic being it is the what is that term? The Deus Machina. I just don't like that answer, but I have to deal with it. Let's see. Durit says, how many divine towers are there in the game? 6? Yes, 6, but so many things. And if you watch Jack's commentary, he points out that like Boss himself also point out that many things are in 8, right? So there's 6 divine towers, so 2 missing. And I never figured that out. I never thought about that. But that if everything is 8, like everybody smarter than me thinks, then there's 2 missing somewhere. Let's see. Welcome back, Metafactual came in. There's a lady in Melina's tree. Right. Okay. Melina's tree. Sorry. Well, see. Okay, so. Okay, let's see. I'm Base Serpent Cannon on Discord. Oh, hey. Okay, Cayman. Okay. I forget. It's hard to get everybody's names remembered, so I apologize. I remember. I think you said that before. My bad, bro. Rattle says, I think Jackal Peak is potent in divine energy, the same way all the tall structures are. They are closer to the heavens. It is a competition between factions to reach the sky to gather spiritual energy. That is an interesting concept. You hate God in the Machine? Yes, I hate God in the Machine. I'm sure you know what the term means, Deus Ex Machina or whatever. I think if I'm saying it right, it's the thing in literary works where like the antagonist or the protagonist is saved out of the blue for some reason by somebody or something because the writer wrote themselves into a corner, and so they use the hand of God to free them. Uh, and we chalk up a dirt says, and we chalk up the number 8 to the fell god, right? To a fell god, right? Because of the eyes. Stephen. Yeah, the jagged peaks higher than the divine gateway, isn't it? I don't know. You know what? Let's go look. Let's go look real quick. Then we'll come back here and look at what Rattle was wanting us to look at real quick. Well, let's look at this real quick. Let's go to Divine Gateway. Oh, snap. K is, yeah. All right, let's see. Jagged Peak. Okay, Divine Gateway. Dang. I would say they're pretty, depends. Okay, the gateway itself and that structure up there, and then they're pretty, I would say they're parallel. They're parallel. I would say. I would say so. With the very top of the spiral to that. Let's see. It's in BD. I'm just cleaning stuff up so folks can find me. Okay. Meta says, Dream Jello here. I'll catch you there later when I get a few minutes. Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking to each other. Oh man, my bad, bro. My bad. Sorry for. The branch sword is a holy Japanese sword with 7 branches, but it has 8. Brought to you by the number. You know, you said that in one of your videos. That's hilarious. Rattle says the structures next to the Shadow Keep, it's shaped like the arch of the. Wait, the structure next to Shadow Keep it's shaped like an arch to signify catching spiritual energy as well. Oh, are you talking about that brace of the Earth Tree or the Shadow Tree? You're talking about this thing? It could be like a giant tuning fork. Is that what you're saying? No. I guess the tuning fork would make energy go out. What's up, Joy Toy? Welcome back, Joy. Go down the stairs and take a look at what's up there with us. We are higher than the night and day. It's always day. This is a special height. Right? Because technically in my idea, in what I believe is that like this cloud here. Oh, look, can you see you can't see it, but you can see Shadow Keep though. Oh yeah, you can see the brace there. So in my opinion, these clouds above here, the ones that we see Fair Missoula in, it's some magical purpose that it stops. It's like, I don't want to say it's outside of time, but it's beyond the regular nighttime schedule. Anything that passes through these clouds, I think there's some magical barrier. I think. And I think that's why it's stated in the opening, monologue, in our lands, our home beyond the fog, right? So this fog is magically sealing away. There's a magical damn it, I hate that word. There's some type of magical thing going on with this fog here. Space time. No. But yeah, probably right. It's supposed to look like a basket, like the rune shape catching energy, like a rune art. The top of the divine gate has the shape to it. The jagged peak is shaped like a bowl or basin. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Is this the picture that Godwin had posted in the man, I don't have to kill Bale to look at that. But which way is that pointing? Be, it would be like Stormvale Castle too, right? Right? You believe that too? How the front of Stormvale Castle has that same bowl-like structure, just like we see at the Divine Gates at the brace of the Shadow Tree, whatever it's called. That right there, because that's built that way. There was a what video? There was a video. Somebody had made it. Uh, they took their camera up there, and it's designed like that. It's not like crumbled or like a laser cut it in perfectly. It was built to resemble something. Let's see. The downstairs art could represent receiving something from above, right? Kind of like it's taking and channeling divine energy into the earth, right? Kind of like the in my video about how about the gods, like statues of the gods and stuff like that, or saints in in Christianity or something like that. When they have their palms down, like in a statue, if the palm is down, it means like divine power is passing through the saint down through their arm into their hands and into the palm, where they rest. You rest your head. They rest their hand on top of your head, blessing you or whatever, and so you get the divine energy. They're just the uh, the facilitator of that energy, and that could be that, right? So it's like channeling the energy between these two forks and into the world, kind of like uh the divine gates, channeling the energy into which, if you look at that structure, right? If you anybody ever played Dark Souls 3, of course you have. Now complete that circle. It looks like the eclipse sun at the end of Dark Souls 3. I don't believe that is the purpose, but it's hard to not see the similarity, Rattle says. But it isn't high enough. Scum Mage declared that to be a brace. You're right. But it could have if that's what you're talking about. But trees grow, right? They grow. Outgrow their braces. I think the hand trees, right? The hand trees, yes, hand trees in Night Rain. It's a nest for the hawks. Maybe I'm not sure what you mean. It's a cup. It holds the sun. The cup that holds the sun. Interesting. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Let's see. Uh, Rattle says exactly it's symbolism to accept divine whatever. Oh, divinity, divine love, divine power. Yeah, whatever. Uh, whatever is a good word. Rattle also says, but it really gets the god juice. You just got to be the highest one in the air. Could be why Hornsent want to build a spiral to reach the gods. Or yeah. Now that game sucks. Oh, he's talking about Dark Souls 3. It does. Rattle the negative space between the divine gate structure that is came in also. It looks like the Crucible. Remember that we were talking about that, talking about how the Elden Ring looks like a cup pouring liquid. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Pouring out. Meta says, yeah, I think the shape indicates the flow of energy gathering, then descending into the Lord's vessel. Why couldn't it be me? Let me ask y'all. Let me ask y'all something, chat, real quick. Right? How many ways do you think there is to become a god? Pour one out for my homies. Godwin's a gangster. Yeah, you always got to pour one out for the homies. I.e. Moog, America, whoever stands at the gate. It was night at the divine gates until America became a god. Maybe Stefan. Maybe. That's a, you're not wrong technically, but you might be wrong. Rattle says, to my question, how many ways there are to be a god? Rattle says, uno, just the one way. Durit says at least 3. Stefan says 2. I would agree with anybody that says more than 1. It's in the DLC trailer. You're right, and that's what makes you technically right. Right? Let's look at that DLC trailer one more time. I know I can stream that real quick. All right, let's look at that real quick. All right, let me open up the YouTube. All right, where is YouTube? YouTube. Boom. Pum. Oh, hold on. Why is it not working? Y'all let me know as soon as it comes up that y'all can see it. I'll see. Nope. Come on now. Right there, kind of. Right here. Okay. Can y'all see that? I'm sure y'all can see that. Y'all are smart. All right, let me move the chat over so I can see what y'all got to say. All right. Okay, so here we go. Let's skip forward.
The seduction and the betrayal.
Okay, so we see Radagon, right? He's walking up the steps.
An affair from which gold arose.
We see this scene here, right? Boom. Let's pause it there. Let's pause it here. I'm sorry, Base. That's not America. That's not Marika, as the AI masters would say. So we see this here, right? We see like I think Stefan says, technically he's correct. This is a nightscape, and with the brightness of whatever there. But in my opinion, earnest opinion, in my humble opinion, this area, this bloody area, is on the other side of the gates. what we're looking at through the gate there is the lands between, where the bodies are petrified. They're the stones that we see in the world where we play now, right? Here we see that, right? So in whatever happened with all this stuff, walk through the gate into this hellscape to get whatever was in there, and then come out the other side back into the lands between as a god. Rattle, it's homies, inquisitors, watchers, thinkers. It's Radigan. It's Radigan. It's Radigan. No, Slope. Welcome back, Slope, by the way. Full Metal Alchemist, I think it's night on the left and day on the right. Melina also became the rock goddess briefly, yep, for a time, and too long in my opinion. Right? Okay, let me tell you why I think it's Radigan real quick. Cankles.
An affair from which gold arose.
Okay. Radigan. Strawberry blonde hair. Strawberry blonde hair got red in it. And we know that he got rid of his red hair. Blonde. Strawberry blonde. Right? Topless. V-shape. Man. A male's torso. Maybe a femboy. Maybe. But we know in the portrait that we see in the round table hold, Radigan didn't have very masculine features. First off, this here is Radigan. I'm telling, we never, not once is America ever depicted as being topless. This person is topless. Topless. I'm just saying, I mean, you don't have to agree. I'm just telling you, when the truth comes out, remember, I, the Golden Inquisitor, said it first. Okay, let's see. It's not even in the same spot. The Divine Gate was moved to where it sits now and risen into the air. Interesting. Okay. Radigan looking kind of cute. Yeah, because he's a femboy. Got the armbands. Well, we know. I mean, armbands don't make you a woman or a man. I mean, I used to have my ears pierced. You know, guys have their ears pierced. They can wear armbands. Wrestlers, think about the Texas Tornado. They all had armbands. It makes your biceps look good when you flex, bro. That's definitely some woman's shoulders. Oh, woman's shoulder. Look at the deltoids here, man. Look right here, deltoids. I don't. You can't see my cursor. Dang. Right there, the shoulder. That's muscular shoulders, bro. Yeah, nobody can. Oh man, I don't know how this. You can see my cursor. Okay, let me see if that works. Nope, I don't know. Okay, but yeah, I'm just saying. It's also playing America's theme. Oh well, is it America's themes or is it a God theme? Because America's a god, right? So this is Radigan becoming a god. I think the theory of her coming out of the hell definitely works. I like your theory, but it's a whole other land we haven't heard anything about. Did miscellaneous come from the same hellscape? Probably. Because remember what Miyazaki said, Stefan, that the Shadowlands was going to be the first place that America set foot. That means she was already walking. The red hair could be due to lighting. She has a cloak or dress. Could absolutely be America. And I believe 90% of everyone thought that originally. Right. So think about it. If it's at this point in the game, Radigan is already posing as America. Back and forward. He's already in control. He's already Elden Lord quotes, right? And now he's going to become a god because he's already dethroned. He's already murdered America. And so now he's going to be this is how Radigan became a god. The deception, the betrayal was Radigan deceiving and betraying America, killing her, murdering her. Meta says, I'm not saying it's not Radigan. I'm just playing devil's advocate. It's okay. Whether nobody believes me or somebody does, it matters not. This is what I believe. And this is a hill I would die on. 100%. Crucify me next to America. Honestly, I think it probably is him. It is. Thank you. I appreciate it. Durit, hear me out. What if it's just a real young America that did push-ups every day? Come on, bro. No. Come on. I don't know. It could be. I'm not saying it. No, it couldn't be America. I don't think so. Radigan does what Gwendolyn can't. That's right. Says Godwin. Rattle says you took two instead of one. If you think that, no, not two. It's Radigan merged in. Well, I guess you would say two with a mimic tier or lava tier where he can shapeshift. Now he has the ability. Somewhere he got the ability to shapeshift into America, and that's how he's able to pose as her. And, make decrees and all these things as her because people think it is her. Remember the Lost Astor War, right? The genuine article, the copy becomes a genuine article. And now we're watching it now, Radigan becoming the god. And Cayman says, and yet America is a god and Radigan isn't. No, he is. He is. But this nobody knows. It's so secret that nobody knows. Only Radigan knows the truth. America's dead, so she can't say nothing. We find her dead body decapitated. What? How's Boss say it? What? I'm telling you. If Boss was here, he would tell you what? The whole point is that you're not supposed to be able to tell. I think the androgyny was masterfully done. It is masterfully done, Meta. Godwin says the other side of the gate is the crucible. And this other side, the dark side, probably. Because if you think about it, you're probably right that this bloody side is because of the balancers, right? When the balancers finally lose their divinity or whatever and go into their more primal state, they become like the crucible. They merge together. They become like a plant being, worm person. Boom. And that's what we see on this side of, we see this hellscape, right?
Which gold arose.
Where they're building structures out of people, and who knows if those are real people or just like vines, something growing that resembles human bodies, kind of like, you're not there yet, but I guess in like Hell's Paradise, the anime, some crazy shit like that. How would America be dead pre-godhood? No, she's not. She's already dead when she took Radigan as her next consort. He killed her. Somehow, some way, he was able to deceive her, let her guard down, cut her head off, or imprison her. Or Jackal. Hear me out. He killed her. That's it. Let's see. Meta says, how do you know Radigan is already Elden Lord? Do we know when the Shadowlands were veiled? Couldn't this have been in a much earlier America moment? Okay, that's a good question. Meta. Okay, if we want to look at the trailer in that it depicts just not the audio, because the audio is stating something different. The audio is stating a bias from Letta's point of view, her bias towards what Mikla has told her. But if we want to look at this, right? Where is it? The next scene is, so it's this hellscape, right? And then next scene, it shows us the war of why it's a hellscape, or what's happening in the lands between, or what's happening around this divine tower, right? And what we see is that at this point, when Mesmer is doing his thing, the sky's different. So you know it's another realm. It's another realm already. This is on the other side probably, right? We know that Radigan is Elden Lord just before this happens, or while this is happening, because we know that Mesmer here brought with him Carian knights, Carian forces, because they were still in peace. But when we enter the game, we know that something bad happened because when we enter the game, we find, even though they were, quotes, probably in a relationship or really, want to be in love, we find what's her name, Ronala, out here in this castle, and we find Mesmer over here. And both of them are alone. Both of them are in the shadows, depressed because of Radagon leaving his queen, Renala. The forces here divided. Rolana was like, I can't fall in love with you. Your father is an asshole. He left my sister for your mother. And this, despite how much I love you, out of the honor for my family, I cannot be with you. And Radagon gives her the swords. He's like, I love you, girl. I love you, girl. But here, I understand. And you know what? I'm going to sit in the dark, depressed for all time, because the love of my life can't be with me because my mother is a skank. And there you go. There you go. There you have it. Elden Ring drama solved. All right, let's see. Where do I start? Let's see. Millicent could have gotten into the information. Could have gotten the information from Radigan. Rattle says, not related, but what are? While we are watching this, notice that the iconography of the sap pouring into the chalice element back. Let's look. Let's look at that. All right. All right, here. Rolana acts as a guard against the invaders and the most sacred of spaces in the Shadowlands. Enos is the board. I mean, you technically surface level that you're correct, Rattle. You're correct. On a technicality, but that's only visual. That's not looking at it internally. You're not seeing what's there. You're seeing a sword in a field. Cayman says, I don't know, she was down pretty bad. I think it's more of a Sakura Susuke situation. Yes? I don't know what that is. But yes, I agree with you, man. I don't know what that is. The fault lay squarely on the mother. Exactly. Exactly, Godwin. Does Stuff says, I thought the cutoff of the Shadowlands happened before the Golden Order age. It did. It did. But the thing is, Radagon didn't become... It did... No. Radagon... The Golden Order started sometime after Radagon became the Elden Lord. Because before that, it was Erd Tree worship, right? It was all about the Erd Tree. And then when the Golden Order arose, when Radagon became King Consort, Elden Lord, that's when the Golden Order stopped worshiping the Erd Tree. It became a symbol of faith, but Marika became the one true God. And if Radagon is craving power because he's a narcissist, why shift the faith from the tree to America? Because he wants the admiration. He wants all the power. He's the focus. It's him. Well, he is technically the auntie, right? But it's George R. R. Martin, right? Right, Cayman? Renala is Mesmer's aunt, but it's George R. R. Martin. He likes incest. It's just incest, brother. It's no big thing. I mean, right? It's not like it's Jamie and Cersei. That's a ugh. I mean, they're basically Mesmer and Renala are Jon Snow and Daenerys. Godwin gets it. Cayman says it's a relationship where a girl is interested and the boy is emo and doesn't notice it. You don't know that. You don't know that. Once Mesmer is not a boy. He's a man. He's a man. M-A-N, man. And if we look at Relana's armor, oh, he knew that was a woman. I missed the whole explanation because my connection kind of what meta. Oh, bro, this could have been a video, but I'm not going to make this into a video. This is what the streams are for. This is why I'm thinking I'm not making videos anymore, just to do it all on streams, make it live, and y'all can decide if y'all want to believe me, agree, or just say it's complete bullshit live. Most likely, but not confirmed. I do see that America as Daenerys, but no. Oh, boss. Wait, America as Daenerys? Both surviving members of their kind rose to power. They're both their birthright and became Mad Queen Daenerys. Welcome back, boss. There is a parallel if you think America was evil. I don't think America was evil. I think all the bad things, well, at a certain point, the bad things came from Radigan. Radigan took America's bad habits and then went to 11. I have that tattoo. Aquaman. Like there's a picture right there. That's such a good picture. I might get that on my back, this whole picture tattooed. Being crazy doesn't mean you're evil. No, it doesn't. But everybody's evil, though. Everybody in the world, in the game, is evil. To an extent. Next, you're going to say all of them are Reddit. No, not all of them. Bro, no. No, just Radigan is America. But America is not Radigan. You know, it's like what's that in math? When you subtract A, you got to add B or add A to the other side of the equation, right? If Radigan is America, then the balance out the equation, America is not Radigan or whatever, I think, right? That's how it works. Don't ask me. I haven't been in school since the 90s. Don't. Oh, you know what? Let's forget what I just said about that. Unless it makes sense, and then you remember it. Having no, it's not two personalities, boss. It's not two personalities. Well, people have two personalities, split personalities, but it's just Radigan being able to change the way he appears. Welcome back. Welcome, Juan. Squares and rectangles. I don't get it, but I get. You're right. You're right. Maybe. I don't know. Check out Radigan's white cape and cool helmet. Are you talking about are you talking about Letta? That's not Radigan. The human heart in conflict with itself. Wow, Radigan sure has a cool hat in that picture. Come on. Come on. With enough spirit transfer, anyone can be anybody. Oh, come on. No. A square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. Oh, I see. Dear, you're smart. Thank you for translating for me. I appreciate it. No, I know it's a joke, bro. You don't have to. You don't have to say. I know. Cayman says, Juan got it. It's a square are rectangles, but rectangles are not squares. That guy, he's probably got a PhD in fucking, smartness, whatever. Slope says, your theory doesn't account for all of America's bedchamber words. Oh, it does. It does. It does. Because, okay, let's go back. Wait, I don't have it. Where she says, let us both be split, right? America's thing. I'm not saying that he killed America right off the bat, but the bedchamber thing where she says, let us both be broken, myself, my other self. She's not looking into a mirror and talking to herself. She's looking directly into the eyes of the man that can appear as herself. That's why at the beginning here, let's hold on. Let's look at the opening intro. Opening Elden Ring opening cinematic right here. All right, let's look at this. We'll look at Bonfire. Bonfires, right? Yeah, Bonfire, man. This Bonfire's a great guy.
The fallen leaves.
Right here, we see this, right? We see this. We see America. The fallen leaves tell a story. This right here, this is not showing a scene that is happening at the same time, right? It's showing America breaking the Elden Ring, and then it's showing later in time Radigan trying to mend the Elden Ring. And how do I know it's later? How do I know? Somebody asked me, how do I know it's later? It's at two different points in time. I'm waiting. And the answer is in this picture. You know what? If you know the answer, you could say it. Flash Gordon, no. Well, there is a flash, right? But the answer is in this picture. How I know it's at two different times. There are people burning in the background. Wild. Not Godwin. The light. Black Wolf, you might be right. But look, Radigan has one arm. One arm. He's already broken when he's trying to repair the Elden Ring with one arm. America has two arms. Boom, two arms. This happened first at some time before. And we know Radigan has one arm from when we fight him. You got one arm Radigan. This took place sometime after. They weren't shape shifting back and forward. You know what I'm saying? You don't shape shift and like one arm just drop. Meta, you could say technically it's a game painting. Technically, you're right. You got me on a technicality, and that's the only way you could I think to fight this argument is on technicalities. Bet you Radagon's force. I bet you Radagon is Helostor's fourth arm. Helostor. I have no idea. I don't know enough about Night Rain to make any assumptions or any hypotheses about that. Hey, Rattle says, hey, that's a sharp observation. Hey, that's why I'm the Inquisitor. The Golden Inquisitor. No, I'm playing. Meta says, yeah, he has one arm because he was shattered. That's right. He was. Let's see. Mick Mike says people with giant strength can wield heavy two-handed weapons or instruments with one hand. And the Bastard Sword tells us that's true. That is true. But whether you have the strength or not, you still have to balance yourself. There's momentum and balance. If you're swinging one hand out, down, or anything, your other one is going to be behind you to counterbalance the forward momentum. I don't know if you ever chopped wood. If you ever goofed around with an axe, your arm doesn't stay parallel to your body, your free arm. It's out balancing, just like when you're walking. It's momentum and balance. Jackal says he could be holding his arm close to his side because it's injured. And we know it's injured. So you have me on a technicality once again. Black Wolf says, I said light because the transition of time. Also, yeah, it isn't happening concurrently. I agree. It's two different points in time. Thank you. George says, look at the striation of those delts. Not those little baby delts we peek earlier. You know what? And you're right. You're right. So this is where I would say that the Radagon we see at whatchamacallit, at the Divine Gates, is a younger, softer Radagon. I'm going to use the same argument that everybody uses about America for Radagon. There's also a video evidence of Radagon having two arms while hammering. If you're talking about the announcement trailer, there's that also. But that announcement trailer was made in 2019. So how viable or how valid can that be? A trailer that was made 4 years prior to the release of the game. We don't know how much it changed between then, right? And that's the only counter argument to that, Jackal. But good point. Mike says inner order and outer order be taking you in directions of your swings. That's true. Thank you, Mike. Let's see. Pharaoh says he's making a T-poise with his other hand, with his other arm. That's why you can't see it. Damn, you solved it, bro. Golly, Pharaoh solved it. Never mind. We're done here. He solved it. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of coffee. Hold on. Hello. I'm back. Thank you. Let's see. Cayman says, do we see any evidence in the DLC to connect her with any other blacksmith stuff in the Shadowlands? The only thing I would say that connects her to blacksmith stuff is those star forges or whatever, the hammers or whatever that come out of there. That's the only thing I would say. I would think. Trailer shows Radagon with both arms on the anvil shot, though. We see multiple trailers, not just one trailer. Let's see. Multiple trailers. Okay, Elden Ring trailer. Let's see how many trailers. Okay, so there's the story trailer. So this is the one I'm talking about, the 2019 one, right? And then we have the story trailer. That's Rani. Radon. No, whatchamacallit.
Okay, let's look at the 2019, right? This came out in 2019. Yeah, 6 years ago. Okay, 6 years ago. White. White. We see Godwin here. Uh, let's see. I never thought about how shattering the Elden Ring could be equivalent to America killing herself. Box stitched together the Golden Order from threads made of people. What? To be honest, it's pretty. I know it's a far out there theory, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Let's see. It's based on a lot of assumptions most people would call wrong. I mean, and that's how. But that's how you know it's right. Slope. That's what I. That's the answer to that. Because Miyazaki and FromSoft, the storytelling always wants to confound you, confuse you. So how do you know if you have a right theory or right hypothesis? If the majority of the people think it's wrong. Because the majority of the people are going to be looking for the low-hanging fruit. They're going to see words on descriptions and take it as fact and not read the description beforehand that says was said to be, is said to be, third-party information, unfactual information. They're not going to read that. They're just going to take the lie and believe it. And that is how you know you are on the right track. They're going to see like the fell god with a little f, a lowercase f, and think it's the name of a god when it's not. It's a description of a god, an evil god, not the evil god. So there's multiple fell gods. A god that isn't America, that isn't the greater will, is a fell god. But that's how I see it. It's English, right? It's a confusing stuff. I talked to Nosso about it. I talked to Rattle about it. It's confusing stuff. 4 years to the movie, 6 years ago. Exactly, 6 years ago. And this is way before it was even released. So how much of this that we see can be taken as fact? And there's stuff in this trailer that I agree that builds stuff on as fact, but it's not a hill that I would die on too either. You have to take it and leave it as you build your own
That
world.
which commanded the stars, giving life its fullest brilliance. The Elden Ring. Oh, Elden Ring.
Yes, we did have this conversation.
Shattered by someone.
Okay, so if we look there, right, his arm is there. No doubt. I cannot disprove that. That is true. Right? But also, another thing, please take this into account. If you think that I'm wrong, look at how he's standing. He's basically standing up. In the opening slideshow, he is bent over. He's standing up. He's got his arm standing up here, but in the game release, he's bent over with one arm. That's all I have to say. But technically, in this trailer, 4 years before the game came out, he does have two arms.
Look up at the sky.
Right here. This is where we talk about the burning of the first Erd tree, the first burning of the Erd tree.
Look up at the sky. It burns.
And now he's burnt. Now he's bent over here. but you also see lots of white light too. So I don't know. It's a representation of an event that happened. Take it as you will. That's all I got to say. It burns. Elden love handles. Yeah, I don't know. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. You got it. It burns. Hold on, let's go back. Radon.
Look up at the sky.
Which is also a very interesting thing here. Is that his spirit leaving his body? Let me ask you that. Because we know he technically doesn't die. Technically. Is that his spirit leaving? I like the idea that the Fel God was a sun god, and the sun is centralizing force, in my opinion. Interesting. Black Wolf, I agree with you. Black Wolf says trailer stories are always subject to change as they are usually drafts, especially before the game comes out, this far ahead of the game. But like I said, they're fun because you can disregard what you want and take the pieces that you like. And I take this piece here where it says that look to the sky, it burns. I take that as something to be said about what we find in Lindell, about the ashes already and all those things. And I that's why I say that the first burning of the Erd tree took place at the end of the shattering. And you know, that's what Don's looking at. The war's over, he's about to die, and he's looking up at the Erd tree and it's on fire in the distance. No armbands. Uh-oh. Sorry, Rattle. I don't know I don't know. Yeah, that's also a good observation, by the way, Rattle. Good observation. And a key observation to show that we can't really trust what we see in trailers. Excuse me. Jackal says, I still find it funny that the opening trailer of the game spoiled one of the biggest secrets in the game had to offer. I know, right? And none of us knew what we were looking at because we were so ignorant. Meta says, I've never seen that video. It was cool. Radagon burning looks badass. Oh, yeah. Yes. You've never seen this trailer? Yeah, you should. It's really good. His great rune wasn't burning. Maybe. Godwin says, a lot of starch in his cape. Thanks, Godwin. I appreciate it. Rattle says, that's after he was taken on the blade of Mikla, tainted by Mother Truth, transfused by Melina, burning to fight off rot. Interesting. You think the Mother of Truth, the Blood Star, is that what you're saying? The Blood Star is the Mother of Truth, right? I could be wrong. Let me know. Can you make that a little bit clearer? Slope says that's his inherent flame of his soul, like in Naruto, the spirit of fire and all that. His flame of ambition. Naruto. I don't know anything about Naruto. So, but I do understand what you're talking about. His flame of ambition. Oh, the pain, the exquisite pain. Oh, that's from Gray Fox, Metal Gear Solid, 1996 or 7. Hit me more. I feel alive. Melina's first death. Yes, yes, exactly, boss. Exactly. Maybe that's Grace leaving him. Cayman, don't be too smart. I think you might be right. Really cool imagery, or Grace burning away. Both. Because when we see Moog, right? When we see Moog's body fighting us and Radon comes back to it, the Grace that's leaving here we see it go back into the body, right? Did I screw that up? Let's see. What? An advertisement? State Farm, not sponsored. See, so we see the body. And then we see Radon returning, inhabiting the body of Moog once more.
Lord brother. At long last you are returned.
At long last, thou art returned.
At long last you are returned.
You are returned. I don't know English. Look at those feet. Femboy feet. But, you know, their feet.
Tarnished one. Aspire.
Curse you, State Farm. Yes. It could be the great room taking shape inside him. Oh, that could be true. You can see the blood on Mikla's shattered rune. I think you can. Bro, I was trying to skip. You were trying to skip. That's hilarious. Dude, you've got a voice for a State Farm ad. You should get paid. I should. State Farm is there. Mikla's new boot gob goofing. He is big. Mikla is voiced by a woman. Really? I didn't know that. Wow.
Aspiring lord of the old order. If you have no sin,
What's funny to me, everybody, also, is that back when this game first came out, I don't know if y'all remember, but if y'all remember, there was a lot of people asking why Mikla only has this one arm cut off or 3 arms. You remember that? And it was like, did nobody like read or listen to the character dialogue where it says that, you know, what's his face? What's the old man? Cut it off. I forgot the old man. Ansbach, right? I was like, man, come on, people. Y'all should know this by now. Children are often voiced by women. That's true. Ansbach, the goat. Anybody has read ever? Nobody has read ever. Or was it in a voice? Because when they're in subtitles, I read the subtitles. Oh, you talking about, or you're being facetious about like people don't read no more. That's true. I don't ever read. I don't like reading. Like right now, like the chat, I have a little voice AI voice bot voicing every one of y'all. I assign voices to every one of you as y'all pop up, and it just talks to me. I'm lying. I can't afford nothing like that. Let's see. I thought he was just half cooked. Godwin, you're funny, bro. You are funny. Rattle says how Ansbach was brought under Mikla's control. He was splashed by Mikla's blood. Perhaps that could be true. Most people just vibe through the story. You know what, Kamen? You're absolutely right. 98% of the people do. And that's why like lore YouTubers become so influential. And even if they have like wrong lore, people will still go with it because they don't ever stop to read and contemplate it yourselves, right? Except for like people that show up for the stream here and watch or and discuss things in Discord, not just the Inquisition Discord, but Jax and Infas and Last Protagonist, all of theirs, those are the thinkers, you know. Don't ask me about Reddit. Reddit doesn't have a lot of thinkers. They don't. I'm gonna tell you that right now. No, they just copy and paste in whatever they read on ChatGPT. They're like, ChatGPT, tell me a good, rage bait lore theory for Elden Ring so I can post it and get upvotes. Blah. The end. Osbach said he injured Mikla but never interpreted what it meant. He took an arm. But I never interpreted that he meant he took an arm. Well, I didn't understand what he meant until I saw this scene. Until I saw that he had taken the arm. And I was like, oh, okay. And that explains why, Freya says that the blood everywhere, or maybe it was Letta that talked about how much blood there was. Let's see. Slope says the Great Rune is mostly accurate. The story and the fate of destiny of the demigod. So I wouldn't say Radahn's Great Rune returned to him mid-fight. Only his actual soul. I love Ansbach. He is the definition of honor and loyalty. The only bad thing is bloody war crimes, pun intended. If you win, it's not a crime if you win. That's all I'm saying. Mike says, my personal working theory of Mikla's broken Great Rune is that it was originally forged by Radahn from lunar bewitching powers he got from Ronala, leaving her holding Mikla's original rune. Mike, where did you get that? What inspired that train of thought? I'm curious. Why do you think it should be Mikla's? He is born. That's one thing I never understood, why the community would think that. Just because he was a kid, he'd be unborn. He's not like stillbirth. He's not like a fetus. A perpetual state of Nov development. Well, that's not necessarily true, is it? Because he developed from a child. His body may have not developed, but his mind was constantly developing, right? He began. We'll just start. He began at the Golden Order, started the Halleck Tree, and from the Halleck Tree, he started his quest to become a god. He started the needle, to break the thing. He's in perpetual, I would say, eternal progression. His body may be, up to a point, not progressing, but his mind, his spirit, the true self is always progressing, right? Not Godwin says, sometimes I think the wither arm corpse is what the walking mausoleums were trying to achieve, a interdimensional escape route from the greater will by making a new world to inhabit. Kind of like the painting in Dark Souls, the painted worlds. The Great Rune of Unborn also looks like a twin of Melania's, but that's my strongest point. Do I have them both on this character? We shall see. We shall see. We shall see how strong this point is. If I have them. All right, let's see. Millennials, yes. And the rune of the unborn. Good point. Good point, Mike. Mike, you got me on a technicality once again. Good point. But I think this rune is a lie, though. I have a video on it. It's a lie. The shape of it is misleading. It's meant to mislead us. So, yes, you're. It's not what it is. That's all I'm going to say. Let's see. Where are we? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? But McMike, you got me there. Cayman says, I think he has ADHD because he's always starting and never finishing. Cayman, I've heard that argument before, but I don't understand why people say that. Think about it. Let's think about it, right? How intelligent is Mikla? If you're intelligent and you see that what you're doing is going to end up not doing what you expect, why keep doing it? Right? If you see that you're digging a hole, all right? You're digging a hole trying to get to across a chasm. You get this idea, oh, I'm going to cross this riverbank by digging a hole. But when you start digging the hole, you're like, hey, I'm not going across the river. I'm digging down. I'm going to stop. It doesn't make any sense to continue digging, right? If nothing, he has these great ideas. They're going to work. They look like they're going to work. But in the end, he sees that they're not working anymore. It doesn't end up, it's not going to be working. Why continue to waste time and effort on it? I never agreed with the statement that he starts and never finishes. He starts and realizes that it's not working. So gives it up to start something else. And the whole thing in the river, that's probably a bad analogy. I've only got a high school education. So excuse me. Squares and triangles or whatever. Whatever Stefan said. Right? Malika abandons both arms, sinistral and dextral, right and left, in Ballarat and Shadowkeep. One, that's true. That's true. It's true. Technicality. But what is he abandoning, though? That's the real question. Is it a tangible arm? Is it spiritual? Is it something else? Is it the idea? Because if you're saying that it is his real arm, then what the hell is this in this egg, in this cocoon? Mikla? Right? So you would have to reconcile what we see before us here, and then what we find, and then what we see at the gate of divinity. If you can reconcile all of that, you have a Nobel Prize waiting for you. Pharaoh says, I would say that perhaps it's Radagon, going with that theory that Radagon had the ability to resurrect in some way. Interesting. Yes, to become a recluse. Mike says, we can't agree it's not what it claims to be, at the very least. At the very least, Miss Mike. Man, you're making me hungry for McDonald's. And I'm trying to get cut for summer. So when I go to the pool, to the beach, I'll be like, hey, ladies, all ripped. But no, now I'm going to eat McDonald's at night. Two double McDoubles, not McDoubles, 2 quarter pounders with cheese. No cheese because I hate cheese. 2 quarter pounders, no cheese, extra ketchup, extra onions. Durit says, if we are operating under the idea that all the demigods had a great rune initially, why do we not get one for defeating Mesmer? Did the serpent eat it, or was he born before America was God? Unrelated. The reason, and I've thought about that, the reason he doesn't have a great rune, right? Because the Elden Ring is not broken yet. right? That's the only reason. That's the only reason. Mesmer's off fighting a war when the Elden Ring, if the Elden Ring was broken during the time of the war. But that brings us, but then you're probably going to ask, what about Godwin? It says that the Elden Ring wasn't shattered till after Godwin's death, right? But that can't be true. That's how we know that Roger is lying, because of that statement and Mesmer. I'm not going to answer that here. I'm not going to answer that here because of Jackal. Because I like Jackal and I know it's going to drive him crazy. But you know what? I will answer it one day. I swear. But that's also how ADHD people see it too. Oh, I don't know anything about ADHD people, Jackal. But you know what? You might be right. Allegedly, I'll have to say that, right? I don't want to make any definite statements on a medical condition. Allegedly. Strangles. Exactly, Kevin. You get it. I graduated high school in 2001. Too far from now. Try a Baconator from Wendy's and call me. No, I can't eat the Baconator, man. That thing's going to be... Wendy's meat tastes like plastic, bro. Don't eat Wendy's. Unless they want to sponsor me one day, then eat Wendy's. Square meat, so good. My bad, bro. I've had this stupid username since high school. You can change them. Can you change them? I don't know, McMike, but it's funny. No, don't reason to change it. Do yourself a favor and make a bean burrito instead. I don't have beans, man. I can't cook. I can't use my kitchen either. By the way, in my apartment, my sink clogged up because I put spaghetti noodles in the disposal, so I can't use any dishes because I can't wash dishes, so they'll just pile up and get nasty. So I'm waiting on the maintenance guy's supposed to be here tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. So McDonald's Baconator it is, maybe. I don't know. You're going to think every chick at the pool is radical. Come on, Rattle. I would think every chick I'm going to be checking to see if they're Radigan because I don't want no Radigans coming back to the hotel room. You know what I'm saying? I just want Maricas and Lettas. No Radigans. I'll be checking. I'll be like, you got any Radigan on you? Let me look. I'll be checking. Godwin says, so the egg is a Salvador Dali painting, but the egg is painted like the earth in that one a redhead child and woman painted. And I don't know what that, I don't know, man. Sorry. You're right, Reddit. You're right, Godwin. 100%. I'll back you up on that statement. Kimmy says, I think Mesmer is not her kid, but I agree that the Great Runes probably don't exist before the Shattering. Interesting. Okay. Jackal still wants proof. Kimmy says, Night of Black Knights happened on the same night as America Shattered. No, bro. That's the lie. You can change your username. Jackal says, Juan says, maybe abandoning his body parts are just speech acts and his cutting off limbs, or he's cutting. There you go, Juan. Now you're thinking, bro. Is it just flamboyant, figurative speeches? Or is he actually cutting parts of himself off? Boss says, I need Romina. At this point, man, I need Romina too. Open your mind, brother. Godfrey was into Radigan. Why not you? Radigan's got too many parts, bro. Too many parts. I'm not, that's not for me. Too many parts. I like my Americas with less parts. I don't know. America's Mischief would make it hard to tell even if you check. God damn, that makes sense, bro. Does stuff got me on another technicality, bro. Fuck. If I'm there and it's go time, damn, I don't know what I do, bro. God damn. I'll be like, fuck it. No, I'm playing. No, maybe. No. I'll be like, nah, Radigoni, you gotta go. Get out of here. Got to use regression and reveal mimic cries in all its forms. That's right. Waiting to see if I actually can record a video before settling on a new username. Until then, I'll be here to not get paid and making you think of McDonald's. And how does Godric hold onto his rune? Well, you got to think. Well, how does Godric hold onto his rune? Well, you got to think about the runes are like manifestations, right? They're just spiritual energies. A hole is a hole, jackal said. And a mouth is a mouth. Hey, I used to think that too when I was young, bro. I used to think the same way. Back to McDonald's idea here. The great runes, right? They're just like spiritual, otherworldly stuff that that you hold inside yourself, right, or something like that. They stick to you like chicle. I think that's like nails in Spanish, chicle. Cayman says he's got America's mischief. He can be as bad as you want. Double thick thighs. Maybe. Damn, don't even start. Don't even get me started, bro. I'll be checking though. I mean, too many parts. America's mischief when you're looking for a girl shaped like the furniture. Cayman, that shit's funny, dude. If they are up for grabs in the shattering, I don't think he holds onto them. No. When it says they claim their Elden runes, right? I don't think it's an actual like physical claiming, right? As like snatching out of somebody's hand or, picking it up off the ground. I think they claimed it saying, more like a verbal, I accept it. They claimed it. This is my inheritance. I take it, things like that. Da 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 da. All right, everybody. Well, it's 9:00. If there isn't anything else pending that you want to look at or discuss, I guess we can call it here. If there is, we can extend for a little bit and see. 2 hours flew by so fast. It's crazy. Man, really? 2 hours of Elden Ring talk. Man, oh man. All right, Dirt says, real quick, would you be willing to peek the skybox in the Shadowlands above the tree? Sure. Where would you want me to post up to look at the sky? I want to see if you also see the branches becoming roots. Oh yeah, homie. Not only can you see it on the shadow tree, but you also see it on the Erd tree. Well, I think there a few weeks ago, I streamed so much. We discussed it before. Right? You see it right there? And they kind of like phase out in the reality, but they continue to go on out there. And it looks like that Mycelium, whatever, network that trees use to communicate with one another and share nutrients. Mycelium, I don't know how to say it. I'm not a scientist. But yeah, you see it there. And let me show you. If the Erd tree is burning, you can see it. In my opinion, you see it better if the Erd tree is burning. And my Erd tree is burning, in fact. So let's go look at the Erd tree. Maybe you can't see it in the bird. Okay, let me switch over to another character. Because I'm like 100% sure that the Erd tree is the same way. You know what? We'll switch over to Kenneth Heights because he's right there at the Erd tree. Old Kenneth Heights right here. They called ants and their women left them long ago. Ants? Maybe I'm wrong. I was pretty sure you could. The Erd tree was this way too. Maybe I'm wrong. Man, did I have a brain fart? I guess I did. I swear I swear I saw it, bro. I swear. Maybe I was looking at the shadow tree and thinking I was looking at the Erd tree. Oh, you know what? Why is everything cloudy? Hold on. Dirt says, so going off those two routes, those are roots. I think what swap we're pouring, I think that sap we are pouring from the shadow tree is the original sap of the Erd tree that granted them the age of plenty. Yes. All right. And after the veiling, the sap just started pouring into the bowl at the ark. And okay, maybe. If you say you play Elden Ring during a full moon, you can see developer messages. What? Are you serious? I don't think so. You're joshing. You're joshing, fool. You're joshing. Okay, let's go. Let's do this one. Like that. I like that during. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you. All right, so I don't know. My Erd tree's on fire, but I would suggest do it if you have the Erd tree not on fire. If you come up here, right here, and look at the tree, I know you can see. I know you can see that stuff, man. And there is the gateway, by the way, into the realm of the lands between, the doorway. But yeah, I don't know if I'd even say mimicking, but more so stealing. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't have a character up here. Son of a bitch. But I'm pretty sure I'm 90% sure that's what I saw. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But hey, if you do, let me know on the Discord. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. All right. Anybody else want to look at anything real quick? If not, while I wait for that, I will let everybody know we have a new question of the week here in. Oh, wait. We got a media. Oh. Jackal. The redhead Scarlet or Harlot. Or anyways, we have a new question of the week, and it's a doozy, y'all. It's a doozy. New question of the week for the call-in show on Saturday, and it's a doozy, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. I want y'all to think about this. All right. What motivated your choice of ending on your first playthrough? And now that you understand the story better, do you stand by that decision? What motivated your choice of ending on your first playthrough? And now that you understand the story better, do you stand by that decision? That is this week's question of the week. And we'll discuss it on Saturday. On Saturday. Anybody in the future wants to join the Discord, there is a link in the chat and a link in the notes. I don't know what to call them. In the notes. Let's see. Mick Mike says, I was kidding about the nth, but it's possible they didn't leave them so much as just lost them after all. Maybe. All right. So everybody, we'll have to call it there. But everybody, please remember, go check out Not Godwin's YouTube channel. Check out Serious Moonlight's YouTube channel. Check out Jack is a Mimic, a great YouTube channel too. And last but not least, go on Twitch and check out Sunstorm Jackal _Sunstorm _ because he's streaming there too, man. And he's Jackal Gone here in the chat. Great guy, funny. He does great voices. He's amazing. Every one of those are amazing people. And if you want to continue the conversation, join the Discord. Or if you're into Discord, don't be afraid to jump into a voice chat. And we'll have live discussions there. Because like 80% of all the theorizing happens there. It's a great place. Yep. Tell a friend. Come chat with us. And yeah, I'm going to call it there. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been another great night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Yep. Y'all be safe. Be careful, everybody.